And welcome on in. I see Pat here in the chat. I do apologize. I did get the thumbnail and everything out late today. We have been working up until the last minute to get this new studio ready, but it is ready and here for the reveal. Gonna wait and see if we can get some more people in here. I do have some food-related challenges that my partner has given me to try today, so
it's ready-ish, we'll say it that way.
Yeah, as with anything, there's always more work to do, but it is up to the point where it's where the old studio was and then some. So we're just gonna sit here and hopefully we get a few more people in. Thanks for joining on in, Pat. So we're gonna sit here and see. I've got a print that's working on starting here on the prusa. So we're gonna see how that goes. Hopefully it goes through fine. I've been experimenting with some ABS on it and just kept having some peel up. So went and cleaned the bed with some soap and water. And we're gonna see if it gets through the entire print this time. Bit different of the setup for me now because now I've got, instead of the monitor being right by the camera, my preview monitor is over here, my chat's over here. How you doing, Howie? Welcome on in. People are slowly coming on in. Well, I guess we'll sit here. Our Mountain Dew of the day is a new one. It is called Dirty Mountain Dew. It's Mountain Dew mixed with cream soda. We're gonna see how this goes. All right.
Yeah, I have tried it. It's interesting.
You can definitely smell the cream soda when you open it. I'm not too sure about this flavor, but it's what I got here. Yeah, it's weird. It has a great cream soda flavor. It has a great citrus flavor. But those two get flavors at the same time. I don't know about it.
One thing I have done is, obviously we have that buddy cam that we got put in the prusa. At some point tonight, once it actually starts printing, I do have that buddy cam on stream that I can pop up in the corner. I'll show that here once it starts printing. I can give you a little preview right now, but it's not really doing much. Oh,
yeah. Right now it's
there it goes.
Doing its little preheat thing where it's sitting here soaking up heat to make sure that the chamber is nice and hot. But hopefully soon that'll start printing, and if it does, James, if you can switch over to the main screen.
Which one?
My screen.
Oh, that's weird.
Growing pains of a new studio, having to get things readjusted.
1 second.
All right, let's see what. Gonna give James some time to do that. While he's doing that, the first thing my partner has given us to try. Harry Potter Birch Beer Kiss. This sounds like it might actually be pretty good. The funny thing would be if we could get James to try it. Actually, we might be able to if they're not chocolate. Oh, they're not. We're going to be able to get James to try these. Let's see here. They definitely have a butterscotch smell to them. Ooh. Oh yeah, James. Yeah, so, you know, the point of today's stream is we are showing off the new studio. It's going to be kind of a print and chill, chat and chill type thing. These things are kind of dangerous.
Pretty much a test stream, for lack of a better term.
Yep. But one of the things I do like about this new studio, I have room to move. I can sit here and stand up. There's room to get places. You know, I'm not in this cramped little tiny space anymore. Okay. James, you got to take those away from me. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep stuffing my face with them. But yeah, so... you know, there's actually room to move now, and that is amazing. I'm getting a few more people on in. Haven't seen chats, but welcome on in. But yeah, so what we're gonna be printing once this decides to start on up is a nice little headphone stand for James over there, so that way he has a place to put his headphones when the stream ends instead of just resting them on a desk. James, have you seen chat? Are you going to reply to Howie? Okay. Oh, I know James is going to like this one.
I, in fact, have already had one, and it is fantastic.
You've already had one of these?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. My partner snuck James one beforehand, and he's been holding out on me. Yeah, but no, I am loving this new space. You know, we've got a bit more distance and play with the camera. You know, we now have a nice 4K monitor, so I don't know if we've done it yet, but are we in 4K this week?
So yeah, 4K.
We're completely in 4K now, including what I'm showing on my monitor. So if you've got a 4K screen and you've got an internet that can handle it, we can stream in, well, what YouTube calls 4K. Because stream compression is a thing.
Honestly, the biggest benefit of having the computer be 4K is like when I go to, I don't know, let's say the top down. He's on frame. I can fix that in a minute. But you can actually read the text on the computer now. It's great.
Yeah, look, I mean, you can read the text. You can actually see what's on the keyboard. We're going pretty well here. All right, let me switch back to the center here. All right. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything you'd like to ask or anything you'd like to know about the new studio or anything, you know, go ahead and put it in chat. But while we're doing that, I'm going to try this Lindt Lindor chocolate that is carrot cake flavor. You know, normally my food streams are, hey, this could go either way. So far, this food has been all rewards. So let's see here. All right. Standard Lindt chocolate. Ooh, even before you get into the center, you can smell that cream cheese and carrot cake. That's definitely a carrot cake. Howie, the prusa is doing pretty well. I had some issues. I've been trying to print this headphone stand for a bit now, and it kept peeling up. James, if you can show the screen. This corner right here kept peeling up on me, and then it would peel up over here. I washed my build plate beforehand. Bergman, Mad Owl, welcome on in. I had washed my build plate beforehand, but I forgot that unlike the other studio where we had water softeners, I don't have one of those at this studio, and there is some very hard water, so I think some calcium residue kind of got on there as I was drying. So this time I did the soap and water wash, and after I wiped it down with a clean cloth, I sprayed it down with some isopropyl alcohol. That way that picks up any moisture. Wipe that off and then let that evaporate. So we're going to see how this goes. It's currently at 96% of its absorbing heat.
Also, keep in mind that the buddy cam that you're seeing on screen is an over-the-network stream, so if it freaks out a little bit, sucks. Deal with it.
Caleb, welcome on in. So we are still doing our little food things. If you guys have any questions about the new studio or anything, feel free to ask them in chat. If you see me looking away from screens now, it's because unlike the old studio where everything was all cramped, and so like cat was right by the screen, and my monitor for what it's actually showing is now all the way over here. My chat is now over here, so I've got multiple monitors set up now, so we're moving up in the world. Okay, so the partner went to the Mart of Walls beforehand. Let's see here. Let's see here. Ender, yes, that is an Ender 3 back there in the corner. So I do have a smooth sheet for this one. I'm using a textured PEI for this one because I do not have things like glue stick and stuff like that yet. I know, very simple thing to pick up, but I don't have it yet. So, I've been told if you print on the smooth sheets for Prusa, to make sure you have some sort of release agent, especially if you're printing in ABS, because it will just apparently super stick to the smooth sheet and tear off the coating. Let's see here. Bergman, you're saying, hey, you wanted to print in PETG. We could do that. I'm trying to do ABS around here because we are in Florida and the new studio is in a garage. And while we've worked on insulating and everything, there is no getting away from heat and humidity in Florida. So having something that's a bit more heat resistant will be a bit better. Let's see here. Howie, print the big part alone with a 10mm brim. If it doesn't print this time, Howie, we will probably try that. Caleb, you're a big boy now. You have a Voron 2.4 and a V0. That is awesome. Cody, we could possibly do an NG. Believe it or not, I have another Ender 3 besides that one that is sitting back here in the back of the studio, and is actually waiting to go for some sort of mod. Oh no. Oh, you're having this with me. I'm about to get a sugar overload for what my partner just did to me. Because, at first I'm sitting here thinking, oh, Rice Krispie treats. That's fine. But then I looked at the top, and these are Rice Krispie treat heaps. I would actually love to do the Virtue 3. How we know the future NG or Virtue 3 is sitting on the floor behind the camera and everything. Oh, hey, look. James and I each get our own little package. So, Cody, it's supposed, from what I understand, it's supposed to be the next iteration of the NG. It's still in beta. So, they have not released it yet. I will see if I can pull it up. But let me get James one of these, because if I'm going to eat the sugar, so is he. So, Rice Krispie Treat Peep. Let's see how this is done. Great thing about being after Easter. Cheap candy.
And now you can see the prusa up there in the corner printing.
Cody, there is room in front of the... $3D&T. I don't know if anybody called you beta, but you might be projecting here. Are you feeling a bit beta? Let's see here. I really got to note to self. I've got to get a screen to go back behind the monitor. That way I can look at you guys as I'm reading chat and everything. Let's see here. You'll watch me eat dessert since it's no bueno for you. Well, we've got quite a... Oh, God. Yeah, my partner apparently wants me to go into a diabetic coma. Because... Oh. Not only did we have the Rice Krispie Treat Peeps, we have a sour watermelon peep.
Oh, I've had those. They are awful.
We have a strawberry Pop-Tart peep. And if peeps weren't sweet enough, there's a cotton candy peep as well. Add to that, add all that on top of Mountain Dew, yeah. Down under...
There goes the prusa.
We are letting the prusa do some printing tonight. I have spent my entire week in between streams getting this studio ready. Between setting up an air conditioning out here, because if there was no AC out here, it would be impossible to work out here. It gets too hot in Florida. You know, redoing lighting, getting the new desk set up, setting up new monitors and everything, getting the cameras all situated.
This stream,
Yeah.
in fact, not sponsored by Peeps.
No, it's not sponsored by Peeps. I wish I could get
Nice,
some-
though.
I'm pretty sure we'd all love some of that Peeps money. Well, let's see here. You know, we've got 3 flavors to try. And I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Which one should we do next? The cotton candy, the sour watermelon, or the strawberry Pop-Tarts? Let me see here. Let's see. Oh, down under I'm slacking, yeah. Well, we're sitting here trying out the build here, seeing if we can, seeing how it turns out. Because if I can get this to print, which 3D&T, this is actually the filament you guys sent to me. So, and it actually printed our first benchy on the Voron. Nope, that was on the Voron. So this was from the Voron, and now we are working on printing a headphone stand with it. Havoc, I am going to be going into a sugar nap after the stream because I have plenty of sugar to go. So let me see here. Apparently with everyone, your projects take longer than you expect them to. Let's add a new poll. Starting a new poll, and which peep first? Cotton candy or water melon or Pop-Tart. Let's see what you guys think we should go next.
Maybe one day this camera will start working.
Yeah. I need another access point. More things to buy for the studio. Option 4, carrots. I don't know if I have any carrots. I might have apples. But I don't think I have any carrots in the house. Trying to think. No, we don't have carrots growing in the garden. Got onions. Got some fresh blueberries out there too. I can. Let's see here. Drink some hot sauce after the peeps. Oh. Bergman. I hate that I like that idea. I'm pretty sure my partner is watching. If they can bring that hot sauce that's in the fridge. LTX, welcome on in. Havoc, welcome on in. Oh, Down Under, I have a feeling we're going to be rearranging multiple times. But another cool feature that we have of the new studio, is, one of the things that we had a nice desk in the old studio. Our new desk is actually a powered sit-stand desk. So, instead of, having to bend over and do stuff, I can actually keep this desk kind of nice and high, make it a bit easier, not only for me to work on it, but then you guys to see. And then I went absolutely crazy, and I have not tried this, but we're not gonna, yeah. Okay. So I've got to get some longer HDMI cords before I can do it, but I actually have a setting that will bring it like all the way up to here. And I'm like, of course, that's the perfect way to sit here and solder. Then I can just rest my elbows up here and solder. I'm going to show you what the partner just brought out. I am not doing this. But they brought out this. And they brought this to go with it. I know sweet and salty is a thing. But no. No. Oh. If you want me to do that, go make me some toast with some butter on it. Yeah. Put it on light coating of it on some toast with butter.
Tom, don't worry. There's some paneling. You just can't see it right now. It's fine.
I mean, I've got wood on the desk. The background desk have wood.
You'll see the paneling next time.
But welcome on in, Tom.
Hey, Penguin.
Dave, you're super jelly right now.
Hey, Penguin.
Armor, is it? Welcome on in, Armor. What's up, James?
Since everyone's seen it, what's that behind you?
That's a prusa.
Oh, okay.
Yep, there's a prusa behind me. Yeah, a spoon with a splash of Vegemite. Yeah. All right, so Let's see how this poll's going. We've got 12 votes in here. Havoc. Nope, not gonna go there. Where's all the palmetto bugs? Those are outside, Gergman. Yeah, those we keep outside in the palmettos. But it's looking like our next one is going to be the watermelon. So we're going to go looks like watermelon, Pop-Tart, then cotton candy. Let's go ahead and in that. Not yet. Let's see. Going through, just reading some chat here. Bolt the PC to the underside of the desk. It's not so much the PC that I'm having to worry about on the HDMI cable. It's actually the capture card, because I can only go. The capture card connects to the stream PC by James via USB, and I can only make that cable so long before we start losing signal integrity. I will say, oh, that is pink.
I'm telling you, it's awful.
It smells like watermelon candy. You know you're eating one of these. Yeah. That's not watermelon flavor. Oh. And then it's super watermelon. Oh God, it's like eating chemicals first and then you get watermelon. Oh. Need a poll on how many uh-oh. We have a visitor on stream that's going to be coming on stream. One of the things you guys get that you weren't able to get at the old studio is we get cat. Now let's see if the cat will sit here and nope. Cat comes out to say hi, I pick her up, and then she's like, nope, I want nothing to do with this. Maybe the cat will decide to come over of her own volition in a bit. James. You get to try one of those now. I hand them to my partner. My partner's like, no, I'm not going to try that. Yeah. David, we have two different cats. The tortoiseshell, her name is River. That one you'll probably see every so often. The other one is a Russian blue, and her name is Hera. And that one you will never see. She is the definition of a scaredy cat. Yep, but River has decided that they have had enough of the garage, so they went back inside. But yeah, no, River is named after two different rivers. She is named after River Song from Doctor Who.
Which, by the way, Gergman said in chat before you said it.
Yep. And she's also named after River from Firefly, because I'm a big Whovian. Uh-oh. You got both of them. That's back. Where you said Andrew? Gergman, you know you're nerdy sci-fi. But yep. Yeah, so for me, she's named after River Song. For my partner, she's named after River from Firefly. Because I'm the Doctor Who fan and my wife is a brown coat. Hera, on the other hand, is named after Hera Syndulla from Star Wars. For those that are not deep into the lore, or haven't watched any of the Disney Plus shows and everything, Hera Syndulla was a Twi'lek whose father was originally a freedom fighter during the Clone Wars, and she ended up being one of the main rebel leaders. Later on, went through the Battle of Scarif, went through the first Death Star battle, all of it, and was a general ended up becoming a general of the Rebel Alliance and then the New Republic later on. So that's what she's named after.
Man, this buddy cam is struggling.
Yeah, I need better Wi-Fi in here. But that's why we have the switch back there, so that way we don't have to... Wi-Fi. I don't know why it goes Wi-Fi. Okay, it's got a USB cord to go to their board, but the camera itself connects Wi-Fi. I do not know why. But, yep. Digital Dragon, welcome on in. So we are trying another Pete, cotton candy. It is definitely very colorful. It really looks like someone took strawberry ice cream and just spilt sprinkles all over it. Let's see how it is. Pile 3D, welcome on in. Okay, so apparently it's not my Wi-Fi. So, yep, strawberry Pop-Tart. Actually, it does a pretty good estimation of strawberry Pop-Tart. James? Okay. Remember, play-by-play explanation once it... "3D, I think I'm missing some..." Or, David, I think I'm missing something there. At least your printer is going to have something to watch in the next 2 years. Yeah, so... The funny thing is when I first put the buddy camera up, it was going like a slideshow. So I did the firmware update, and it went smooth. It was that way for like a week. And then all of a sudden, it just started hanging up. So I don't know. But let's try the sugar overload now, the cotton candy. So down under, there is a method to get RTSP and show it directly. Believe it or not, what you're seeing on stream right now is the RTSP live feed. It's not going through the Prusa app or anything like that. It is the RTSP live feed directly to the camera, and it still does that. So the strawberry Pop-Tart one was a strawberry flavor. It's a very chemically strawberry flavor.
Which is what all Pop-Tarts taste like, so it's fine.
Yeah, but it's a different chemically strawberry than normal Pop-Tarts. But it's also a bit sweeter than normal because you have that added marshmallow, but the marshmallow on the back end is very subtle compared to the overpowering strawberry. Unfortunately, we also happen to live in near a place where strawberries are like the thing, and you can get some of the best strawberry shortcake you'll ever have. I am terrible with names. James, what's the place? Yeah, out there. No, but the place. Parksdale, yeah. If you're ever in Florida and you're near Parksdale, you can get a very good strawberry shortcake, and their strawberry milkshakes are amazing. All right, so we got cotton candy now. And I can say pink with blue flecks, so you know you got that pink and blue thing going on. But why they would go with brown eyes that look like they came from a human extruder, I don't know, but we're gonna sit here and see if this tastes like cotton candy. If anything, it's gonna be the flavor of cotton candy. You know, I think Peeps are gonna be closest to it. So, because let's face it, both of those are pure sugar. So, no. You definitely get the Peep marshmallow on it. But the supposed cotton candy flavor actually tastes more like the burnt sugar on top of a creme brulee. Instead of that spun sugar, light, airy flavor that you get on actual cotton candy. So that is different. I'm gonna eat the last of these. The last one of this carrot cake, Lindor, because this was delicious and I want to get that
Don't forget, you still have some Mountain Dew to drink.
Out of my... Oh. Yeah, okay. So for those of you that weren't here in the beginning, you know, Mountain Dew has a new flavor. It's called Dirty Mountain Dew. It is Mountain Dew mixed with cream soda. Dirty is a proper name for it. It is... They do both flavors well, but both flavors do not go well together. Ugh. For the Food Maker channel. Yep. Gerdman, we are pushing plastic right now, so we're gonna see how this goes. Okay, let's, you know, carrot cake. We're gonna do the last carrot cake, Lindt chocolate. This one was good. Yeah. If anybody is a fan of carrot cake, especially the frosting with a hint of the actual underlying carrot cake, these are really good. Bergman, my partner, was worried about my sugar intake too when I used to drink a 2-liter Mountain Dew a day. Good news is I've had blood work done recently. I'm apparently perfectly fine, so to throw away this garbage here. That's the next thing I need to print. I need to print a little basketball backboard for the garbage can back there. Make it a bit easier to get stuff in.
Or just move the trash can.
Yeah, but that makes sense. Why would I do that? That makes sense. So Caleb, get the Lindt little carrot cake ones if you can find them, because they are limited edition. It's carrot cake, but you don't have that raisin flavor in it. Yeah, next thing you guys know, I'm just going to be passed out on stream from a sugar coma. That would be a really funny thing. Scary, but funny. And I know you guys would do me a favor and you guys would clip the heck out of it. I don't know why I just grabbed that to sit here in. cleanse my palette, because that is not a good palette cleanser, but you have 3 big diaper boxes under your build table. Yeah, well, thankfully, now that I have the nice big bench, like the sides of this thing are actually off camera. I can actually throw a trash can under there. Funny content, magic smoke, yeah. What is it? Schadenfreude, happiness at the misfortune of others. A lot of people like that. But we're doing this print to kind of test out the Prusa, see if we're, see what I need to tune to get ABS printing on it and everything, because the next thing that we're going to be printing, or the next thing I'm going to be printing on it to get ready for next stream, is the parts for the Frax arm. So we're finally going to get onto that. I have everything here for it, so I just need to get the parts printed so we can actually build it. Oh, the partner has brought some of the things that I've been printing on stream or off stream to test out the printer. And these are all done in PLA. So one of the first things I printed on the Prusa, once I got it back over here, is the little dinosaur model. My partner is a huge fan of dinosaurs, so when I saw this, it was kind of, hey, that'll be a nice, easy print. Let's get this printing. So it actually turned out pretty well. You can see a bit of the layers from the overhangs down on the bottom, but the surface overall turned out nice. And this was just in some inland black PLA. Then after that, like I said, my partner is a fan of dinosaurs, and they actually used to have their fossil license to where they were legally allowed to go out and dig and collect fossils. And so I found a CT scan that somebody had converted into an STL for a trilobite. So we got that printed, and these were just all kind of seeing, how it was performing and everything. Let's see here. And then of course, being big Star Wars fans, I went and printed my partner a gonk droid. But the gonk droid, it can articulate to a little bit. So this was kind of checking the tolerances on it. But it has a secret where it can open up, and inside is an emergency chocolate. So, but this printed just nice and flat, and with the tolerances, they were good, so I was good there. This filament was very stringy, but it had been in the other studio since we started streaming and had never been in a dry box, so I was expecting it to be stringy as heck. All right, now I know at least David here was a fan of K-pop Demon Hunters. Was anybody else a fan of K-pop Demon Hunters? I'm gonna sit here and give you guys a bit to reply to that. See what we say here. And while I'm waiting on that, I'm going to I'm gonna get a drink here. Oh, let's see here.
It's worse with every sip.
Yeah, it really does. Oh, that is not one that grows on you. All right, well, okay, so Caleb was a fan as well. Well, while I was going through and looking at models, I found the Tiger. Right there on printables, you literally just search K-pop and it's the first model that shows up. And it's a tiger that comes with a little plant that he knocks over. To my opinion, the derpy tiger is the best character in the movie. Again, opinion. But then, you know, once I printed it small, it was, okay, let's put this thing through its test. Let's give it a print that can do quite some time. So, I made it bigger. And this I'm actually going to be giving to a friend to give to their kid, but, you know, sat here, this was getting me learning, you know, because I've never done I've never actually gone through and done these big prints and everything. This was teaching me about, you know, properly setting up supports and everything like that. This gave me this model right here was the one that I printed after I started learning supports. The next model I'm going to show you is what taught me to have an appreciation for organic tree supports. Now, yeah, David, if you go right on printables, Derpy Cat it's the first one on there if you type in K-pop, and it looks so good. But, you know, I think you guys had seen a few streams ago where, or if you weren't here, where, thank you, Killer Print, welcome on in. Yeah, we've been working pretty hard, but, where James is a big Markiplier fan, and we went out and saw his movie Iron Lung. Well, James sat here and found out that they made a popcorn bucket that you could 3D print for Iron Lung. Well, I went and printed it. They actually make it so it is 2 pieces. So this part of the model with no supports printed mostly fine. You know, there's not that many overhangs or anything like that. But when it came to the holes, I had a bit of problems with them. So I reprinted it and did supports. That came out fine. This one, on the other hand, there are gills and everything that are really big overhangs on the back side. And originally what I was doing is I was just using the standard default that came in Prusa Slicer of the, you know, straight up supports. Well, what it would do is it would print, and I told it print only from the bed because I didn't want to go through and having to get off from the side and mar the side. So it would put the big supports here to support this bottom gill. And then it would skip this second one and then go to the third. So the first time I tried printing this, the second gill just tried to print in midair. So that ended up being a failed print. But the funny thing is, this model actually has some weight in it because like that much of the print is actually just infilled before you actually get to the bottom of the model. But that gives it some nice weight. But then they just kind of go and sit together. Now, if you are going to use this as a popcorn bucket, I would highly recommend getting things like food safe resin and coating it so that way you don't get microplastics along with your popcorn, because that's the last thing we all need.
What do you mean,
microplastics?
Those taste delicious. I love microplastics.
You would like microplastics. You are a microplastic. But yeah, so it just goes together like that. It came out as a really nice print, and it's a free thing from Regal's site. So, you know, that's what we've been doing. But yeah, for those that are joining us, the main or after I did my intro and everything, the main point of this stream is showing off the new studio and everything, kind of going over, and being able to hang out and chat with you guys. You know, if you guys had any questions or anything, let's see, you're Down Under maker, you're an adult, not a 13-year-old girl, so K-pop. Down Under, I think you're missing something. It's actually a really good movie. The songs on it are very well done. Yeah, there's no wrong with watching adult animation as an adult. I gotta clarify on that because one of those is a bit different than the other. Yeah, Gergman, with this one I did a 50, with these two I did a 15% infill, just because this is actually going to be going to, like I said, my friend's kid, and he's like 5, so you know, I wanted something, you know, that's going to be a bit more sturdy. Yeah, microplastics make your popcorn extra crunchy. But yeah, so we're just printing out on the prusa back there to sit here and, you know, testing out an ABS print before I go and, you know, go to town with the other parts. I already have the plates and everything already separated into, these are printed in accent colors, these are printed in black. I went through the Turtle Crawlers GitHub and I set the walls, the top and bottom layers, the line width size to everything that he said should be set for the fracks. So hopefully, if all goes as planned, we'll be building a fracks next stream, and then I can sit here and mount it to the side or something like that, and then I'll have a nice little thing. And then once that's done, we're going to get back to getting that done. I'm actually working on ordering some parts for that right now, because I'm going to change out the tool head from the cell changer. I'm thinking I'm going to go A4T on it. And then that way I can also get the cartographer on it. So, oh yeah. Other thing we have now, because, you know, before, you know, you guys used to see me just reaching down. Oh, look, let me grab this tool here. Let me grab this tool here. We actually have an actual tool chest now. I have a place to put tools. But
more importantly,
I have a place to put stickers now. So we have an official sticker board. Let's see here. Jerkman, I do have a lot to learn. The day that I stop learning is the day that I should be 6 feet under, because my personal viewpoint, if you do not learn at least one new thing every day, then you're not living. So let's take that back there. Yep, so we have an actual tool chest now, so that'll make keeping things organized a lot nicer as well. I know we've gotten some new people in here. One of the other big features is our little sit-stand desk, so we can actually sit here and raise things up, so that way as I'm standing, I'm not hurting my back, so that is always a good thing. And I love it because it's just a single button press instead of having to hold something that does have memory. Today's lesson, stop printing in grid. Yeah, the grid supports, you know, from what I understand, they have their place. If you're doing a very non-organic model and it's just straight lines, from what I understand, they can work well for that. But so far, the organic tree prints have just been chef's kiss for me. see. Kirkman, today you learned you loathe belting printers. Yeah, that can be a bit of a fun thing to go through. I learned my lesson with that one when you have the extra belts, that if I ever do if I build one of those again, what I'm probably going to do is use the full length of the belt uncut to get my initial Z done. Cut that belt, find out how long that is, and then measure them all to be the same length afterwards, because doing the cut in half and cut in half again, that was a pain, because then it was, you know, okay, cool, they're all equal length, but now I got to make sure that but now I've got it belted up, now I've cut one, so now I've got to cut the rest of them to that, so I've got to undo them. Yeah, that was not fun. So, and then if you do it the belt one and then cut, you can possibly get, you know, a whole extra belt out of it that you can keep instead of these short little pieces. Gyroid and cross hatch. So, believe it or not, I'm going to be trying for the Frax arm. I'm going to be trying adaptive cubic for that one. So, yeah, gyroid 3D honeycomb, adaptive cubic is Gergman's go. Gyroid and crosshatch for 3D and T. Yep, so I'm gonna be trying all of these. Like, I was sitting here even debating on, like, I was starting to really go through the slicer. Actually, hey James, can we throw the screen up nice and big? So, you know, I was going through here and going into print settings and, you know, looking at like patterns and infill and seeing like the top fill patterns and all that, and going through these, and I'm like, some of these top fill and bottom fill patterns look amazing, but at the same time I'm like, this is a functional print, let's just go, you know, the default worked. So let's see, still more acceptable than grid. Yeah, let's see here. Caleb, you don't like the adaptive cubic. Depends on the file. For Tom, it depends on the file. Yeah. Yeah, but, you know, I was looking through the different top fill and infill patterns, you know. I've always been, before I even did the, did 3D printing, I knew of the Hilbert curve because, you know, I just found it, it was a very interesting curve because it's a curve that can take up, you know, an infinite amount of space with a finite line length. It's, or maybe reverse that. I'm brain farting on which way it is. It's either an infinite amount of space with a finite line, or no, it can take up a finite space with an infinite line length. So it's an interesting little concept for a curve, but Icon, welcome on in. How you doing? Yep, so, but yeah, no, by default Prusa goes to grid, but yeah, you know, for when I'm doing the Frax parts, I have gone and set it to adaptive cubic. You know, so we're gonna see how that goes. RJ, welcome on in. Let me see here, because I'm trying out some new things here. All right. But yeah, so I can say it is nice for those that, you know, I haven't done this in a while, and I know we've had some new people in here. You know, it's nice to be able to sit here and stand up and actually be able to move around and do stuff. Like, the space I had before was pretty much, I could stand here and maybe do that. I think from the front of this desk, so about where my hand is, to that back wall is about the size of the entire last studio. So if that lets you guys...
That is a gross under-exaggeration, by the way.
Back wall to the front of this? No, that's about right. It was about as deep as this. But yeah, so we've gone from this tiny little studio to now, like, James has his feet up. He's just sitting over there relaxing.
I mean, to be fair, I've always done that, but
yeah, but now you don't have to worry about me like having to come around the desk and tripping over them. The few times that I went around the desk. But you know, we've got the nice sit-stand desk, we upgraded the chair situation, so you know, can actually be comfy when I'm talking to you.
Top down still looks as cool as ever.
So, Dave, we are working on getting some... We're going to be working on getting some stuff on the back wall. I'm thinking about doing a multi-board back there. I do have Howie's little penguin that he sent. And for now, he's kind of sitting up there in between the Benjis. I've got the drop bear duck from Outback. Yeah, believe it or not, John Doe, these are the same cameras that we had before. It's just now that we don't have that wood paneling in the background, we could actually match them to like the white in the back and everything.
Oh, we'll have wood paneling in the background. Don't you worry.
But Icon, you did your first hue forge on a stealth changer, and now you're hooked. You know, Icon, I saw some of your hue forges, and they are looking amazing. Let's see, what else do we have here? Yeah, no, it's... So, I am just super thrilled that, we were able to sit here and get here, and now that these printers are actually here in a studio that's closer to me instead of an hour drive away, you can be printing some stuff more often and everything. Ravi, welcome on in. Hey, if bamboo's what works for you, there's some people that just want an iPhone and printers. They just want to set it up, print, and go. They do make some pretty good prints, especially for the level of setup that's required with them. I am not a bamboo hater here. So, wood PLA sound dampers. Yeah, there's different things we've been thinking about. We actually have an entire sound blanket and insulation on the door to dampen the sound and everything. We're probably going to be putting some paneling over on the window that's right over here, so that way it can actually block out car sounds and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys have heard any of those as we've been going. If you have, let me know, because that'll be a good thing for us to know, because that's one of the things that we wanted to test out while we were doing the stream was, hey, are you guys hearing any weird sounds and things like that? How does the camera look? In fact, hey James, can you do me a favor real quick and switch to the top down? Put this over here because I've got a... Yep, so I've got, we now have a dedicated space on the desk just for our top down and everything, so you can see. But now I have a lot more room to actually work, and I know exactly where it is. So unlike in the old studio when I was sitting here, you know, putting stuff together and like it'd be mostly off stream, I know that from this point in, that's where I can build. So we have marks and everything now. All right. So the top camera, that one was easy to calibrate. James went through a whole thing with getting these cameras recalibrated for the studio. We were probably a full day just doing that. So let's see what we have here. Bergman, breast printers is more printers. Completely agree. Dave, artillery is the best printer. Oh, if nobody's seen it, go watch Dave's stream where he unboxed the artillery. Yeah, that was fun. But yes, the best printer is the one that you have that's printing, because at this point, actually, you guys can't even see it. There are actually 2 Creality printers back here behind me. One you can kind of see in the corner there, that's an Ender 3, but then I also have the printer that got me into all of this, which is a Creality Hallett 1 resin printer. That is what I cut my teeth on.
Yeah, you heard that right. That's what he started with. Weird choice for starting with resin.
It's your fault I got started that way. I bought it to print miniatures for our D&D campaign. But yep, so that little printer back there is what got me started in 3D printing for printing miniatures for our D&D campaign. And now I'm streaming it on streaming builds and everything, so and it's been
D&D.
fun.
D&D is fun. I miss D&D.
Dave, so I've not I have the resin printer, but I've got a wash and cure station. I used to have a room dedicated to my 3D printers and everything, so I didn't have to worry about the fumes and all that, because I could just shut the door, open the window, the fumes could go outside, and it could stay ventilated. You know, I have our proper PPE. I've got respirator mask. I've got nitrile gloves. I've got a chemical grade lab coat in the house. For that is actually lab rated and chemical resistant. So yeah, but I will say, getting the resin set up for those that haven't done it, the printing part is super simple. It's actually even easier than FDM. Once you get it calibrated, it's just kind of cool. We're calibrated, go. And it just goes. The post-processing, that's the nightmare. It's like your supports can kind of come right off with no effort whatsoever, but making sure that they're washed and then washed again and then dried and then cured. But then you have to cure them twice, because when you put them on a wash and cure station, one side is down and not getting the UV light, so you have to tilt them up. Yeah. Let's see here.
The only issue, Caleb, is getting enough people, unfortunately.
You still have...
I'd love to.
David, you still have the Saturn 2.8 to Saturn 2 8K. Yeah, the Saturn printers are really nice printers. Let's see here. But yeah, that seems, from what I see for resin printing, you know, everybody who gets into it is usually into it for some sort of miniature printing. You know, that it started with miniatures, and it turned into making master dice molds because my partner makes custom dice that are custom cast, so we could make masters out of them and then make silicon molds out of them. So, but yeah, everybody I know that has gotten into resin it's been related to some sort of miniature thing. Everyone else just picked up a FDM because FDM is definitely the way to go for larger prints, because like something like this I could not print on that resin printer. I do not have the build volume for this. This easily print on the resin, but the big cat, no. Yeah, and it's oh, Howie's an artillery fanboy now. Yep, Havoc, you know, that just seems to be the way it is. You get into miniatures, then if you're a 3D printing person, you buy a resin printer and you start doing that. The big thing is just make sure you're safe with it, because you know it is dangerous stuff. If you guys have never seen what a resin burn looks like and everything afterwards, like they will bubble up, and like I've seen where like a little drop of resin like that big will bubble up on your leg to like a blister like that big that's fluid filled, and you know, it is not something you want to get on your skin. Yeah, the Games Workshop is very, very, we'll say, protective of their IP, because that's where they make their money. So Gergman, we actually have a friend that does that. The only thing he could get his hands on was an FDM printer, and he bought a 0.2 nozzle, and he's getting some pretty decent prints out of it. He bought a Bamboo A1, and he's printing little miniatures. But he got inspired by us playing D&D together and seeing mine, and then he wanted to start painting models, and so best way to paint models is, instead of buying models, print them yourself. Then you can paint your heart's content for a lot cheaper than you can from going to the local game store and buying models. Oh, the down under, he's got some of those, the white metal or the pewter? Because I know the pewter for a while was almost impossible to get your hands on because of England and their pewter export laws and everything. So they were very hard to get on the metal figurines for it. So yeah, any Mountain Dew fans, I do not recommend this flavor, and it is pretty bad. I'll save that for after stream. That way I can get a palate cleanser from this thing. If they had just decided to make a cream soda, that would have been fine. But they had to add the Mountain Dew citrus into it as well. And it's not like that orange citrus that goes so well with it. No, this is that tart Mountain Dew citrus. Yeah, it was the pewter models that they were having. Tom, yeah, that's the cream soda one, and no. Like, I know, Tom, I know you're another Mountain Dew fan. If you see it out in town, do yourself a favor and skip it. One thing's sure, things like keeping this off screen, it's a bit harder now. but that's what the monitor is for. Yeah, it wants to be cream soda that knows somebody, but it doesn't know the right person. Oh, did I see up? Oh. Oh, Gergman. Gergman, can you, if you still have it, can you please, and it's a model that can be shared, can you please share the STLs for that AT-AT? That looks amazing. Let me... Gergman, do you mind if I show this model on stream? Alright, so, yeah, don't... If they're paid, you know, I want to give... Send me a link to the place where I can buy them then, because that looks amazing. Alright, hey James? I think the monitor is not updating. And these are the things that we're working on finding out. New studio, new headaches.
Do 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 do.
But yeah, but no, this AT-AT looks amazing. It's definitely not. I wouldn't say that's miniature size, but well, maybe. If you're going on a tabletop campaign, that might actually be the correct size for miniatures. Oh, I think we're having capture card issues. I have lost my screen. Did I gain my screen back? There we go. I gave my screen back. So it's showing on my end.
There you go.
There we go. So yeah. That looks amazing, Gergman.
No idea. No idea what happened there.
All right.
Gotta love technology.
Let's see here. Yeah, those are some really nice prints. Let's see here. Yeah, they're pretty. That's pretty large for a mini, but it still looks nice. Yeah. All right. Well, have fun. Have fun driving down under. Yeah, I don't know how much longer we'll be, but let me get YouTube chat back up. There we go. Yep. All right. Slicer's back up. Let's see. Okay, well, the good news is I'm not peeling yet, so because the issue we had before was that corner right there would be peeling up. But it has a few more layers to go before it would get to that point. Let's see, it is currently 8:20, so we're about an hour and a half in. You know what? James, did I give you the Rice Krispie treat? I'm gonna have one of those. That actually wasn't that bad. The Rice Krispie treat was actually quite enjoyable. Yeah. For those of you that are in here, you know, I know Killa and 3D and T were here, and RJ Repo Man. You know, they're all streamers as well. If you haven't been to them, go to them and like, subscribe. So LTX, the Voron is in fact idle. I need to print. That's one of the reasons I'm doing the prints on this, is I'm making sure that, you know, I can get some good prints out of ABS. So that way I can print new parts for the Voron there. And once I get some new parts, we're going to be upgrading it to A4T. And then I'm going to be getting rid of the clicky probe that's currently on it and upgrading it to cartographer. And possibly updating it from USB to CAN at the same time. And then I'm going to be replacing the power supply that's in it from the 24 volt only. I'm going to be getting the LDO 24 plus 5 volt power supply. That way I can power the Pi directly with 5 volts instead of off of the GPIO headers. The Rice Krispie treats peeps are actually quite accurate. Those ones are good. But yeah, so I'm probably going to be upgrading that, you know, to A4T. Going to put an orbiter tool head on that with an EBB 36 Gen 2. Then upgrading the entire thing to CAN and getting cartographer on it.
And maybe figuring out how to fix this camera in that Prusa. That is hurting my soul.
That camera just does not. Sometimes it's fine. Other times it's like, nah, I'm not going to do that. Believe it or not, Gergman, Orca is actually already downloaded. Yeah, Orca is downloaded, and that's what we were using at the old studio to print on the Voron, and we are still getting problems with clicky, so. John Doe, I don't know. There is really nothing out here. Uh-oh. I'm hearing the sounds of bags, and the partner just walked in, which might mean I might be getting something new to try and eat. And I think my partner went out specifically to get this, so this might be dangerous. This might be really dangerous.
This is a really strong bag.
Do you need a canife? Okay. Oh. Okay. I forget who it was that asked me to do it earlier. I just didn't want. But somebody told me to eat a carrot. Well, I've got carrots. So. Okay. But anyways, back to the thought. I don't know how much Wi-Fi interference there would be out here, because at this point, besides the buddy camera itself, I've got the AC that's connected to Wi-Fi, so I can change the temperature on the fly as we're streaming. And all right,
really good
man.
carrots, actually.
Yeah.
I'm about to eat the whole bag myself. Go back to the bag.
No. So you know something?
I'm afraid of carrots.
You know, these are really good carrots, but you know what it needs? I don't have any of it here right now. I need dip.
You're taking something healthy and making it not healthy?
I just want a good dip. Good dips are always good. But so yeah, the AC, a tablet, and the buddy camera are the only Wi-Fi things out in this section. So, oh, and 2 cell phones, but...
Would you guys like some carrot ASMR? I can provide that.
Oh, that carrot did not want to go down, but yeah, so LTX designs, I agree with you. The problem with clicky is clicky. The big thing I was trying to do is, I think it also might have been that I wasn't having to do a mesh before each print. I just kind of did a mesh once and was like, hey, this is the mesh. And so I think that might have been causing some of the problems as well, because I didn't want to sit around and wait for it to go click, 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 click. You know.
What's that, John Doe? I don't know what you're talking about.
The amount of times that it would be back here, yeah.
John Doe, I have no idea what you're talking about.
John Doe, I think you're hallucinating things. There's hallucinations going on, John. Bergman, I can't do a plain salad. You know.
You can't even do salad. What do you mean plain salad?
Yeah. Spinach salad, I will do, but I cannot. I am not a fan of lettuce, or as I call it, crunchy water. I don't know why spinach is fine, but lettuce is not, but yeah, I am not a fan of lettuce. Yeah, Yardman, the big thing though is, you know, we would get the Z offset set with feeler gauges. It would be perfectly fine. And for some reason, every single time, you know, we would go through and calibrate it. It would home. We would do the bed mesh. It would do its clicky. I'd tell it to print. It would start out printing fine. So, you know, we do layer meshes, you know, do the stepping of the Z, save that afterwards, go to print, you know, that print would finish. Okay, cool, we were good. Then I would go and say, hey, let's print another model. You know, our Z offset, we've calibrated and all that, we're good there. We'd go to print, and next thing I know, the print head was digging, the tool head was digging into the bed. So the only thing that changed between each thing was it doing its quad gantry level. So unless it was something like the homing was off or something like that, I don't know, but from what I understand, I'm not going to have to worry so much about that on the Cardo. I mean, the load cell in the Prusa has been amazing. That thing just tapped the bed, cool, we're good. I need a salad fork. Bergman, I did like 5 different Z offset calibrations on that thing using multiple different methods and would still get the same results. And I did it manually through the printer config. I did it through the, you know, calibrate Z offset thing. I did it through just stepping down and everything. I've had quite a few people help me with that, and just it might print well once, and then after that fell apart. So
I think the issue is you, not the printer.
Yeah. Tom, one of these days we might get a salad fork. One of these days we may do a salad fork. How is okay? We are still going good on that print though. Oh, we're about 20% done. Yeah.
Well, we're not finishing that this stream.
Oh no, that is definitely not finishing this stream. That thing's estimated that it's going to be finished at about 1:30 in the morning. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, like Tom said, instead of sitting here, you know, chasing, it's just, let's go to a method that we know works. Because, you know, I'd rather sit here and, you know, rebuild that thing, because at this point, rebuilding that is content for you guys, so.
Turns out he installs it and it still doesn't work.
Oh God, don't you put that juju on me. Don't you put that juju. But, you know, do you guys have any questions about the new studio or future projects or anything? Move the chat over to this screen, because I'm actually probably not going to need this screen today. Gergman, you're doing a Trident with Cardo and 350. Is it a Seabor Trident? Because I know that Seabor is sending theirs with Cartographer or Beacon. Salad fork win. So, Killa, the salad fork will probably eventually come, but before I do a salad fork, I do want to do a micron. LTX, nope. The Frax is going to be
talking about. I thought you were talking about an actual fork for salad,
no,
because that came soon after that we were talking about salad.
yeah. There's actually a. Sorry guys, I'm explaining this to you. There's actually a printer called a salad fork. It's a Trident, which is take the Voron and take the 3 bed screws that you have in the Prusa, and that's how it does.
I'll get you a salad fork.
Is a smaller version of that.
I'll get you a salad fork. Don't worry.
You're gonna buy a salad fork for me to build on stream?
I'll get you a salad fork. Don't you worry.
No. But LTX, no. The Frax is gonna be the next build. I'm just waiting for this print to finish, and I want a successful ABS print to come out of this to make sure that I'm doing things right. And then I'm going to go on to building a salad fork, which no, I'm not going to build a salad fork. Building the Frax, and I happen to have a filament dryer now, so I can actually do this. The main color of the Frax is going to be black, but I have not revealed the accent color yet, so let's go ahead and do that. Oh, you can switch back. I just needed a Kanife.
Unbagging ASMR.
So our accent color is going to be yellow. We got the KB3D yellow, and we're using KB3D yellow ASA. And we are going to be doing the KB, or not the KB3D, the new maker yellow ASA. And, oh, over here. The new maker yellow ASA. And we're going to be doing new maker black ASA for the main color. So that's going to be what our frax is going to be, because honestly, I like the look of the yellow, but I didn't have a, you know, I'm trying to do all my Florons as a Linux theme, and I couldn't really think of a mainstream distribution that was yellow. So that will be what's going to be going on the Prusa next. Oh. But of course, that filament has been in Florida, even though it was in a sealed bag. So I'm also going to dry it before I print with it, because moisture seems to find its way into everything in Florida. Havoc, I don't know when and if I will do resin content, because I don't know how would you guys ever find that interesting, of going through and showing like resin calibration and things like that. Let's see here. So Caleb, the reason I went ASA was, you know, I'd never printed with it before, and I knew that it was going to be in this studio, and I did not know whether or not we were going to be covering up the window or not, because we hadn't filmed in here yet. But if I didn't cover up the window, there would have been direct sunlight, and I wanted the UV resistance that ASA has and everything over ABS. So that's why I went ASA. Other than that, it would have been ABS or ASA. It's just, hey, it was that way. So Icon, you're debating on whether to put your Anycubic Ace on a Trident. Not having experience with the Ace, I don't know, but I know what the group of people that hang out in the Discord would say, and say, send it. Havoc. You'd love the resin calibration and everything. Yeah, I mean, I can go through. It's actually what I would probably do. I probably wouldn't do it on the Creality. I would want to get another resin printer to go through that process, because, well, I can get some amazing prints out of this Creality. There are some tuning and stuff that you can do on things like an Anycubic or an Elegoo resin printer that you just can't really do on a Creality. So we'll sit here and see. Let's see here. Stapace project on GitHub. Let's see here. Not seen a resin printer yet. So okay, so you know, maybe we'll do some resin printing here in the future. You know, I do want to get at least the Frax and that Voron up and going before we go into any other projects, because if I don't finish the projects that I have started, then they will just sit there and I will never finish them. That's one of the reasons I sat here and made the channel, so that way I could sit here and, you know, every week I had to come back and do something, which kept me on task, which made it so I would actually complete the projects. So,
Well,
how you
if
doing,
that's the
Shrimp
case-
Father?
If that's the case, why don't you finish the war on first, since you technically haven't started the Frax yet?
I have it. The box is open. It's ready to go.
That's not started. You know it.
And I'm waiting for parts on the Voron. Yeah, get to see me wearing PPE. Actually, if I really went into it, oh, that would be a weird one. Not only would you see me in PPE, I'd have to get rid of the beard, because the whole point of the mask is to seal against the face. Well, when you have a beard like this, you kind of can't seal against the face. Yeah. We'll have to see. Maybe I'll do it with the beard on and just keep it back there. All right, so resin printing would be something you guys would be interested in. I could say once the print starts going, I will let you guys know. It's not like your FDMs where you see all this stuff moving around. It's, for those that haven't seen it, it's literally a plate that goes down, up, and it's however many hours of that. Get a hazmat suit, Kirkman? Yeah. Watch me walk around in a bunny suit. That would be interesting. But, all right. We're almost at that hour and 45-minute mark. So, give it about 3 more minutes. You know, not really working on a project today, so, you know, want to let you guys get back to your life and everything, unless you guys have some more questions. But, you know, I will keep the resin printing in mind. I will sit here and look up possibly doing, I'm thinking an Elegoo. Just got to save up money for one, or do my thing and find a good deal on Facebook Marketplace, because I'm pretty good about finding some deals on that. Other than that, yeah, I think we're almost done here. Let's see here. Has this started up? And it started peeling up in that corner again. So I think I'm going to go ahead and stop the print. And how you doing, projects? You're coming in just in time for the end of the stream. Down under, yes, I am using a brim, and even with the brim it's peeling up, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to split it into separate build plates. James, can you show the slicer? I'm going to split it into separate build plates and just print this, so that way I can put a wider brim on it. And see how that does, and then print those on their own thing. Yeah, so we'll sit here. I'll sit here and get that done. The cool thing is that it is, when it does that, it does make it quite easy to get off, but it still sticks fairly well. But you know, as far as the layers and everything, it was looking good. I'm going to switch up the infill too to get away from the grid on this. But layer wise, it's looking amazing. So it was just starting to peel. It was starting to curl up on this corner right here. But yeah, it comes up nice. I am liking the new build plate. But with that, you know, curling up, I will sit here and say, you know, thanks for tuning in and everything. I've been Penguin Maker. Behind the camera has been James Cube. And go make something awesome.